Yeah.
I'll start that again. I don't think you heard me. I forgot to put the microphone on. There's always something that happens. Anyway, I don't care. I love it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast, quick chat with Chantal Miranda, Psychic Medium, which is me. You can find me on YouTube as well, and the channel is Chantal, Chantal Miranda, so you can see down that way. Oh, there it is. Chantal Miranda, Psychic Medium. Today we have an amazing guest. Now, he has been here before. I'm not going to say much yet because before we do start doing the inductions, I would like people who are viewing to please like and share and support little people like us who are trying to reach out to all communities within this, the healers, psychic mediums, and those who are also learning and wanting to understand how we work and what's it all about. I mean, it's a big thing now that we are understanding more and more each day about energy and who we are as people and our purposes, understanding reading cards, the tarot, oracle, and also intuitive healers, psychic mediums, music healers, everything that's out there, everything that's got to do with love and light. It's mainly like we're getting noticed, which is fantastic. A lot of people are now coming more and more aware of the power within. We all have that power to heal ourselves by understanding who we are as people and also acknowledging things within around us and protecting ourselves from all negative sources. Back in the days, we would run to a doctor straight away and get help, and even you're going crazy and things like that. But it's not like that anymore. I believe it's really, really important that we do acknowledge and come out. But there is a fine line between mental health and with what we do and what we see intuitively. Okay, in saying that, as most of you do know me, and those who don't, my name is Chantal Miranda. I am 5th generation with a psychic medium. I do see spirits who are somehow connected to you. I will describe them how they lived in a physical form, so that's evidential mediumship. Now, I learned all that overseas and with great mediums. I knew that it was always there, but I didn't understand how to work with that. And little did I know it was actually called medium. So when I found out it was called medium, it was a big relief for me that it wasn't me going crazy. It was legit stuff that happening. Since that, and learning and traveling and so on, I've been able to help so many people in helping them with grieving or going through the grieving process with mediumship. And that doesn't mean you forget or you stop grieving, you just grieve differently. And apart from that, intuitive kicks in. So I'm able to see what's going on in your life. I can describe exactly what's happening. And then we move together, and I call it spiritual guidance. I don't call it so much future because at the end of the day, you are in charge of your own future. And you're the expert of your own life. You know what's going on. However, spirit will always want the best for us, and they do guide us, and that's your loved ones. So with mediumship and having counselling and welfare background, I combine them together to make it a more clear reading for you guys and understanding. And I always say, please record your reading. So when you do come and have a session with me, and if I forget, for you to record, ask me, am I okay to record? Because the answer is a big yes. I just forgot to let you know. Because a lot of the things that we do speak about might take effect within a year, 6 months, 6 weeks, somewhere along the line. So it starts unfolding and it happens. And I get a lot of people saying, hey, do you remember when you told me something about my dress and it was going to be red and I was going to go to a wedding? Well, guess what? It happened. I will honestly not remember because it's your reading. But if you've got it recorded, that's your evidence of saying, wow, it did and happen. Okay. The other thing I was going to say is that if you want a reading with me, it is important that you do go online on my website, which is www.cmediumship.com. Because I do also work at the Gold Coast, and that's every Thursday. So if you want to see me at the Gold Coast on Thursdays, I am there. You just go to my website and you click onto the Gold Coast, and it'll take you directly to where I work, which is Chameleon New Age Salon. But if you want to see me here in Brisbane at my beautiful space that I've got here at Ormiston, which is not far from, just around the corner from Cleveland, even better, it's where they made the Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, Part 6, this is where they made it, and in Wellington Point. So I'm all around that area. It's the Redlands. You can also come and see me here. So it's closer to Brisbane. It's only 35 minutes from Brisbane. And you just go on my website and go clicking online, and you see whichever one. So you've got a choice, okay? When you do click, can you please write in comments if you want a face-to-face or you want a Zoom? For some reason, that idol's not working properly, and sometimes I'm thinking it's Zoom and people come here. I don't mind, but just it'll be nice that we know. All right, now I am going to get the drum roll. Guys, can you just drum the notes? There's no one here, but anyway, drum rolls to present the one and only Mr. Tarot King himself, Mr. Mark. Yeah! Where are you, Mark? There you are. How are you, my darling? I can't hear you. You're
Hello?
Mute. Now we can hear you. I think.
Oh, good. Did you mute me?
Well, I couldn't be muted by myself. I had to mute you, so we're both even.
So how are you?
I'm really good. Look,
Awesome.
I have to admit, I did have a funny day today. Actually, this whole week has been very funny for me. I've had sinus, and it's horrible because you feel like a truck's just hit you. It's right here, all this area.
Can I give you a mini bit of insight into what the spiritual reason behind sinus is?
Please do tell.
Oh, because you're feeling suspicious. There is something around you where you are feeling suspicious about. You're actually feeling uneasy about a situation, and you're feeling there's a certain amount of suspicion around it. And it's because where you breathe in, you are smelling a rat.
Better than smelling Dan's farts, I tell you. But you know what? Let me tell you, I think you're spot on there. I don't know if it's that or because Dalton, who is Dan's son, had the flu for about a week, and that was a week ago. We were fine with Dan, no issues. But however, now I've got that blockage all here, and it feels like I can't sleep. So I've been taking a lot of Panadol. Today I was about not to do it, but I'm that type, the show must go on.
There's also lots of irritants in the air, especially here on the Gold Coast.
Yeah. So I put one of those squirting, those little squirting.
Oh, yeah. You can do what they call a neti pot as well, which isn't very pleasant, but still they work really well.
I did that and it went in. I swear to God, I felt it right up to here and then come back out. And I'm like,
yeah, it does.
And then I'm like, I can breathe. Well, it's not that I wasn't breathing, but the relief. But it didn't last, Mark.
No, you've got it's because they're inflamed a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to do it before I go to bed. But anyway, enough. I sound like a 50-year-old whinging. Oops, I am 50. But anyway, so I'm allowed to whinge. Anyway, I just want to say hello to everyone who has joined. I do want to also let you know that there is a lot of scammers, as per usual, pretending to be, someone told me to come reading. Can you tell me, guys, who are viewing the scammers that are around so we can kick them in the ass and get them out? They are becoming so easy now to get in everything that we have. Have you noticed that? Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, well, I must admit that they, what is your phone? Is your phone, or is it a method for people that don't know you to ring you to pester you about stuff?
100%.
We are feeling, I think this is such an important time in our lives and in our growth to have boundary with all this sort of stuff. and
I
to
know.
make sure that, we don't allow this stuff to infiltrate us.
It's a pain in the butt because you're constantly reporting them. And I've got something juicy to tell everyone too. Maybe we can share this little story after we hear more about you, Mark, darling. I've been having a visitor that's coming to haunt us. I don't know, I shouldn't say haunt us because I don't feel haunted. But with Dan, we've been hearing the footsteps up the stairs, in the door, on the door, just closing it so you can hear that, or we hear something and I'll get up. I'm loving it. I used to have this a long time ago. I do work with a lot of spirits anyway. Everything is love and light. I'm not scared. But it's becoming annoying when they're starting to get things and they put them in places that they don't belong. So my dog's collar, he's got it's a vibration. It's not an electric one. So when he bugs, it vibrates because he can be a pain in the you know what, when birds come around. So that little collar disappeared. A video that I've got disappeared. Okay. And a few other things are just gone missing out of nowhere. And then we find them in the most odd places that we would never, ever even put them there. But that is quite exciting. It could be a little visitor. And 2 weeks ago, I think it was, they went into Dalton's room. He felt the door open. He felt someone, and then they closed it. And he thought it was one of us. And we're like, who would want to go to your room? Like, come on. Anyway, then we felt with Dan someone in our room, and he felt someone like little, like a child. So if anyone's experiencing that, we would like to hear a little bit more of your experiences. But talking about experiences, I said I wasn't going to talk much, so
Talk away. God, don't just be, Dale.
I'm going to leave it to Mark. So hello, Mark. Who are you? What do you do?
I am, I live on the Gold Coast and I work as a barber hairdresser, also a fitness instructor, but I also do tarot reading and I work at a place called Chameleon New Age Salon, which you've obviously all heard about through Chantal. And at this place, it's a marvelous place where we get the opportunity to be able to do the things we love to do for people. And that's to connect with spirit, and it's to connect with heart, and it's to be able to connect with soul, and it's to be able to then, if people need guidance or they need confirmation or they need to hear from loved ones that have passed, like we don't control who comes through, but whoever comes through is exactly the right person for that person. And so I use the medium of tarot cards because it's just what I have studied since I was 14. And now I'm only 24. That makes it 10 years. Not really. I know you're probably thinking, oh, God, he's only 24. No, I'm 61 years old. So that's how long I have been studying tarot for. I've been studying it for 100 years. And I'm nearly as old as tarot. But the thing is, in studying it, I've learned some amazing things. Not so much with the divination for myself. I do the divination for others, but I've learned more about how to be able to, as in the philosophy, the spiritual stuff about the tree of life and where the tarot fits in to my spiritual journey. And then I sort of work with it and I'd make vision boards with it. I do a whole heap of different things using the tarot and the tarot philosophy as guidance, as manifestation tools, as sometimes just to play with. So there's many different mediums that we can use the tools that we feel drawn to. Some people feel, don't they? They feel drawn to, I know a guy that could read bones, and I know people that can read tea leaves. And so we're all drawn to something, aren't we? And
we are, and that's a beautiful connection in itself, isn't it? It just gives us a vision to a lot of us readers. It just gives us that vision to concentrate as we do readings because we don't really need them, but it helps us, like you said. 100%. I know a few ladies that read flowers, I think it is, the
Oh,
flower.
yeah. I know a guy, David Law. He's very famous for it in Australia.
Wow.
He reads flowers as well. You have to when you go and when you have a reading with him, you have to go in and take a flower. So
Oh, you take
even
your
if
own
you just get
flower.
out of you take your flower and you give him the flower, and then what he does is he chooses the flower, and then he reads with
We
that
might invite him to the show one day. But
Yeah, well,
if I can't get him, I'll get Donna. Donna from Toowoomba. She's a reverend as well from Manadua, and she reads flower petals. I hope
oh,
she's
really?
watching.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing, a little bit of a interesting thing, or not so interesting, but a bit of trivia about me is that I was born in Toowoomba, and I
I
lived
Isn't
most
that
of my
funny?
adolescent and young adult life there.
I love Mark's history. I was always drawn to Japan. Little did
Mm.
I know that Mr. Mark, I had no idea he's half Japanese. His mother is
Yeah,
Japanese.
my beautiful 93-year-old mother is Japanese, and she lives up in Toowoomba. I my wonderful father, who is now in heaven, he met her during the Korean War. So
And
they both had this incredible history. I mean, we couldn't walk a mile in their shoes, Chantal. It's just something that I mean, I freak out if the
live to
batteries are dead
tell.
in my remote control. I mean,
Mm,
that's absolutely devastating to me. But see, to
mm.
these, not really, but you get what I'm saying. You get
I
my
100% live to tell the
mm,
story. Our
yeah,
parents, our ancestors, that's part of the trait that you were saying, that you read
mm,
family trees, and your family tree is amazing, just as
mm,
everybody else's. And I was, because I love Japan. And
mm,
when you saw my tattoo, remember, and I said to
mm.
you, it's when I went to Japan and we got talking about Japan food and how much. And I'm South American. I'm Chilean. Like, I should be Latino kicking booties, and I'm not. I'd rather be in a kimono and going,
Well, maybe there's a past life
oh, there
connection there.
is. I've had a couple, and they're all connected. Mm,
Interesting, and that's why we sway towards these things. We bring
yeah.
this through, and one thing with past lives, it's not just a spiritual connection; it's a genetic connection. You have those genetic markers, and that's why they are so strong. That is why when you think about Japan, for example,
Mm.
you connect with the place. You feel
The,
that
the
love for the
smell,
place.
the food, the people. I want
Oh,
to take
food. I
Danny
had
with
Japanese
me.
for dinner tonight, by the way.
I didn't. I had a pizza.
Oh, you had Italian. Gee, we're multicultural.
Multicultural, yeah.
Mm.
So tell us something more, Mark, my darling. So,
Okay.
how
Well,
did you find your little gift? Talk to us about you. I know you said that you're drawn to the tarot, and everyone's drawn to everything. How did you discover your gift?
okay. Well, when I was at school, I was 14 years old. I was in the school library. I was in maybe 13 in grade 9. And I was in the school library and I found this section on strange and unusual topics. And I found this one on witchcraft. Excuse me.
Oh,
And of course, those sorts of topics. I mean, back then we didn't have the media that we do today.
mm.
Back then we didn't have crazy movies about witches. We didn't have, I mean, I think the most sort of representation we had was in fairy tales, like the evil witch that took Hansel and Gretel into her house. So we
Mm.
have all these different sorts of sort of impressions, not like kids have today, because they get well-rounded stuff with the net and having everything at their fingertips. So, in this book, it had this incredible section on tarot, and I was reading it and I saw the images, and they actually spoke to me. And I
Mm.
thought, wow, I became so curious and really wanted to know more. But how does a 14-year-old in Toowoomba during the 70s find out about tarot?
Only
Well,
an old soul, if you ask me.
sorry?
Only an old soul, if you
Yeah,
ask.
well, maybe that's a connection there too, but well, Spirit had another thing in mind because one of my lovely friends that I went to school with had an aunt who unfortunately and very sadly passed away. But when she passed away, she left my friend all these little trinkets for her in her will. She left her some tarot cards, an athame, which is a ceremonial knife that we use when we do ritual, and left her, a few odds and ends, but they're all quite macabre and probably had a little bit of an occult sort of feel to them. And as she was looking through them, she said, I've got a chill through me and I don't want to keep these things at home. Will you keep them for me? And I thought, well, is there a Hail Mary here? Because I felt so drawn to the cards in this book. And also, I've got to say, there were these spells in the book about how to cleanse your house. So I was going around cleansing my house with this spell book. And next thing you know, this friend of mine had a deck of tarot cards and she said, would you mind looking after these for me? And I went, hell yeah. And I said, for sure. So that's when I started to look at them. Now, I just had a lovely client of mine just come back from France, and she bought me the Marseille deck. And the Marseille deck is a very, very beautiful French deck, and it's very, very simple in a lot of ways. And so, as you know, that the tarot has 3 sections to it. We have what we call the minor arcana, which has 4 suits. So in this deck, the suits are just like playing cards. If there's the 4 of wands, there's 4 wands. There's no pictorial representation of the energy like there is in the Rider-Waite deck, or even in the Toff deck, which is one of my featured decks that I read. So the minor arcana, of course, has 4 suits. As we know, we have wands, cups, pentacles, and swords. Oh, I had to think about that. Anyway,
you held it in your hand, but you couldn't get it out.
Yeah, I know what it is. Anyway, so that they all have an alchemic representation, as you know, that the cups represent the suit of water, which the element of water, which represents our emotional state. So when you have an ace, it's the seed, it's the beginning of an emotional state. And when you have the 10, it's that emotional state in critical mass. And so the slider between them is usually how we gauge what the numerical value is according to the alchemic value. Okay. So wands are fire, and they talk about passion and creativity. Swords is air, and it talks about we represent air in our bodies by our thoughts. They come in, they come out. They're just like air. Okay. And the pentacles are wonderful because they represent Mother Gaia, or the earth energy. So when we read cards, and as you can see on the banner that's streaming across the screen here, it says that it's advertising a workshop that I'll be teaching at Chameleon New Age Salon.
Please do tell us when, and so on and so forth.
Well, what are you going to on the banner there? Because it says July 15 at 10 a.m. and the tarot workshop is called Tarot Simplified. So my goal is that, when you get a deck of cards, Chantal, and they've got a little book in there, and you get them out eagerly, and you get the card out, and then you're shuffling through that book, and then you find the meaning, and you read it, and then you go through the next one, and you find the meaning. I think a lot of people find the 78 card deck quite daunting because they have to learn a meaning for every card.
Yeah, no, I don't look at the Mark. I throw the books away. I read the
very good. Yeah, because
I don't do books.
Yeah, well, the books are good, but the thing is, chuck it in the bin.
Yeah.
Because while you're relying on the book, you're not relying on spirit, and you're not relying on your own connection. And so therefore, I will, in my workshop, I will teach you ways of defining cards and being intuitive with them, using the basic principles of elemental law, basic numerology, and then showing the major arcana, which is a big part of tarot. Now, when tarot first came, it was the 4 suits only, and they were playing cards that were called the tarocchi, and that was in Italy in the 1700s. And it was a pub game. It was a secular game that they played, and they bet on it and did things like that. But then when the gypsy influence came into Italy, they started to use the cards for divination. So they would get you in their tent and they would get the cards out. And
Yeah, I
whether they
remember.
had, yeah,
My
well,
grandmother used to read the cards. It was
yeah,
the like the normal cards, and
main deck. Well,
yeah,
there's the
yeah,
feelings. You've got spades,
yeah,
you've got swords,
yes.
diamonds, et cetera, without going into too
Love
much of that
hearts, I think it
history.
was,
Yes,
and
cups.
yeah,
Yeah,
cup,
baby,
yeah.
yeah. So some people are extremely gifted at reading, and they can read these just playing cards. Well, with tarot, the as time progressed and secret societies started to bloom, and the reason they had to, because in some countries like Great Britain, for example, anything occultic was illegal. Anything
Mm,
against the church was illegal. And I mean, even today, in some aspects, they've still got laws against these sorts of things because the High
yeah,
Church of England ran the ran England through the sovereign of the Queen or King,
yeah,
and then they had their Parliament, which also was an advisory committee, basically, and that whole thing ran England.
oh,
Divorce was illegal, for example.
yeah,
Well, if you got divorced, you couldn't remarry. And so there
mm,
are all these different sorts of set rules and things like that. So as soon as you start to talk about tarot cards, you're talking about people becoming personally empowered. And when you become personally empowered in any sort of way, I'm not talking about like becoming fully enlightened and becoming a guru. I'm talking
yeah,
about, well, that too. But what I'm saying, in any sort of personal empowerment where you don't need somebody to bridge the gap between you and your god and your goddess, these people that bridge the gap for you don't like it. So they
yeah,
start to want to control you with their rules. And the church does great things for people. I'm not putting the church down. I am just merely
yeah,
stating that there was a body of people in the church that made divination with these sorts of things
yeah,
illegal and frowned upon. So
yeah,
in saying that, secret societies came through, and one of them that was very, very famous was the Order of the Golden Dawn. And the Order of the Golden Dawn studied a bit of Kabbalistic Hebrew, and what they did was they studied a very, very powerful symbol that's to do with the Kabbalah, which is the tree of life. Now, the Hebrew tree of life, as you know, it
yeah,
takes years of scholarly study to be able to understand anything to do with the mystical writings of the Zohar and its relationship with the tree of life. So the tree of life is like a blueprint for everything, for the atomic world, for this world, for the solar system, for everything. It is the theory of everything. And it is made up of 10 energy centers. 3 of them are what we call supernal, or up high, they're lofty above this plane. And then the last 7 are represented in this world. So, and between them are 22 pathways, which represent the major arcana of the tarot. And so we have number 0, which is the Fool, and we go through to number 22, which is the World. Or is it
wow.
21?
I
21,
think
sorry.
it's 20.
0 is 0. 20, the world is 21.
Oh,
So
okay, I thought it was 22.
some
Okay,
decks say the Fool is 1 and they go through
yeah,
to 23. So in this particular deck, however, the Fool has a value of 0 and the universe or the world has a value of 21. So
yeah,
the Hermit, which is a very significant card to me, sits sort of in the middle of that. So the Hermit is a figure that is enlightened. He understands that one of the most powerful things we can do in life is to surrender. It's to lay down our arms. It's
yeah,
to speak peace, not war,
yeah,
and to say things that speak the truth and not use it as a weapon. And
mm,
he has an occultic star that guides him. It's a lamp that shines light on his path, and he is protected by his shroud. And it is a solitary journey. So here's number 9 in the major arcana. So anything that appears before him is his journey to that, and anything that appears after him is what he does with it. And
that's
then
amazing. I've never understood tarot like that, and the way you say it, you're so passionate about it, which really is
oh,
interesting.
Thank you.
100%. That's why we call you the king of tarot.
Well, go on. Keep
Go on.
marketing.
You
It's not
love
gonna
it.
leave.
You know what, guys? I highly recommend this course, and I've been meaning. Yes, I also work at Chameleon New Age. I do readings there, but every time I get a chance with Mark to sit down, we're always digging into all these, and we love it. But I
Yeah.
also have to, and I'm going to throw you deep in here. I am not going to.
No,
You
throw
know,
me in. I don't care.
he's been tapping into his mediumship, and I'm very proud of him. He has been helping me with a bit of some, as some of you know, some of you don't, but I will leave it out there. I do help solve not cases, but we look at photos and we do what would you call it? Investigation murder cases.
Yeah. It's when investigators get to a dead end
They come
and
to us,
they
and
come and they want
yeah,
the
they come.
intuitive path so they can look at that and investigate that.
Correct. And I get a lot of those cases, as Mark knows, because I have their permission to ask, is that okay if I can share this photo to see what they feel? And I do show Mark and
Mm.
say, Mark, what is it that you feel? What is it? Now, I have to be honest. There are things that he might get right and there are things he doesn't. But he's not far from that. And I am so proud of you because he has said, Chantel, what does this mean? I've got this little, and we talk about it and go, oh, you're on the right track because blah, blah, blah happened. So when I don't want to get too much in depth because I don't remember much, but he brought my grandmother. My grandmother was chasing me and she always comes through only to a certain people and he described her to the T. Her attitude, she's the German one, the one that was a psychic medium as well in Chile. And she was very, if she got angry, she'll throw the pot. And you said to me, I feel she would like be really angry and throw a pot at someone. And I go, yeah, that's her again. Now, Mike didn't have this when I met him. And slowly I feel that, Mike, you're opening up more because you're allowing it. And I am so proud of you that I am happy if you need any assistance today, if someone wants a mediumship reading, will you be willing to give it a go?
Sure. If someone comes through for that person, I'm definitely would not ignore that. And sometimes that they don't always come through.
Yeah.
And the reason is sometimes that some people desire it so strongly that they base their whole beingness around receiving the presence of this person, and that person that has crossed is part of the divine, and they also know that it maybe not be a good thing for this person to experience this because they need to find their own path through. Sometimes spirits come, or aspects of their oneness with that person comes through, and it is about and it's only for confirmation. So the
Correct.
thing that they tell us is just for confirmation, and then they give me the channel, and that's when the cards become alive. They literally move, and so this is how I sort of combine with it, and I've had situations where I've read for people, and one lady particularly who was very, very upset about her father's passing quite a few years ago. And I said, look, I feel like I'm getting this sense of a parental energy. I'd say he's a father, and we got through all of this anyway. And I said, he's showing me a big red box with this bow on it. Does that mean anything to you? And of course, every psychic medium or every reader has an ego involved in some way and would love to hear, you're bang on. But no, she didn't deliver that to me. She actually went, okay, no, doesn't mean anything. And it just went off. And I said, well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep, I don't care. I don't need the acknowledgement. I only sense what I sense. And so I said, yeah, well, he's showing me this box anyway. So then we went in and I got the cards out and he channeled quite a bit of information through. Anyway, the next day she rang me and she was quite upset, but sort of a little bit hysterical. And she goes, my kid's quilt just arrived and it's in a box and it's got a big red bow around it, but it's on the box.
Radio.
Yeah. And she said, is that my father telling me that not to let the kids swim in the pool? And I said, no. I said, I don't get that at all. What I get is that he wants you to, it was confirmation. It was him here with me, and it's him here with you. And this is what he is, this is how he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, hello, Nita Lyons. Yes.
So I've got our first person, Nita, who said, I would love a card picked for me, please. So
would
let's
you
see
like
what
me
you
to
pick
go
for
into this
Nita.
now? Yeah, let's
so
go.
What we're going to do is we're going to mix it around and we'll see what Mark feels. If he feels and drawn to mediumship, he'll be honest and say it. If he's feeling drawn to a card, it's what Mark feels. So are you happy with that, Mark? Whatever you're feeling. So at this case, obviously we need a card. There you go.
Yeah, well, I do, but I have a very strong sense of a very strong female presence around you, Nita, straight away, and I'm getting this feeling of a sister energy of somebody that was either so close to you that they were like a sister, or it was somebody that is your sister. And I'm getting somebody that has very similar colored hair to yourself that's in that Facebook profile picture. I feel that in a way that even if you weren't sisters, I get this energy and this immense love for you, that you were obviously sisters in a past life, or you were very, very close to this person. And I'm getting a really strange feeling through my chest here. And I don't think it's about the breast, but I feel like there must have been something going on in her chest. And I'm not getting cancer, but I'm getting something a little bit similar to that, like a restriction or an asthmatic, or there's something there in her breathing that I believe may have been responsible.
Yep. So she's saying my cousin.
Oh, good. Well, she's here, and we're going to together give you a card. So let's just see what we pick. Now, I mightn't just pick one because there might be a story running here. Okay, so Anita, I have the 10 of Swords. So first thing I'd like to say to you, she is your sister. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, she is here. And she is telling me that the 10 of Swords is where you're at the moment. Now, Anita, I just want to give you, if I could give you a medal to pin on you right now, I would. Because you have been going through something so difficult. This 10 of Swords is indicative of critical mass. So I want you to know something really important about this card, is that it will soon wane away. When it's like the minor arcana start on 0, on an ace, and go through to a 10. And once they've gone to the 10, it reaches critical mass, and then you have peace. So you are experiencing something so full on at the moment. And I'm going to actually guess there is an aspect of what's going on inside of you that has to do with a mental process. It is something to do with the way you've put some facts together. It's to do with the way that you have joined some dots in your mind about a certain situation that you've been going through, and it has been causing you a great deal of stress. Well, this is going to wane away. You have reached critical mass. It is certainly not going to get any worse. If anything, it is going to get better. So my next card for you is, oh my God, it's gone from the 10 of Swords to the Ace of Cups. So this is a beautiful, beautiful transformation for you. What this is doing is going to say this experience is going to be so loyal to you that this is going to be, it's going to be what's going to release you. And it's going to be to find something. And this is, I believe, an action card for you. And I feel like your cards is telling me this is an action card for you to start to feel love in your heart. Not towards a person, not towards a thing or a place, but start to close your eyes, center in on your heart chakra, and really start to generate that love. Not for any reason, not for any object or anything, but just to feel it. Because I feel that there has been pain and I feel there's been things that you've been going through. But if you can start to be proactive with your emotions to combat what's going on in your head, start to develop this beautiful sense of love and emotion, this is going to be the key to help you move out of that state. So to contact the heart, show love. Sometimes we feel, and this is what I'm getting, is that we really feel that we are loveless and that the world is a loveless place. Well, you have the ability to generate it within you. And so therefore you have the ability to change your world through the
Beautiful.
feeling of this.
That's
Now,
wonderful.
this is also see how the energy is coming up and it's like a funnel.
Yeah.
So this isn't just going to be something that you will do on your own. This is going to channel down through you. We have not only chakras in our body, and then we have a crown chakra, but we have supernal chakras that sit above our crown chakra. And this is indicative of that. You are going to, oh, there's my cat. And she says hello. The energy is going to come down through that crown chakra. So you are going to get a massive input of spirit.
That's
from
beautiful.
this
Thank you so
situation.
much, Mark. We would like to hear some feedbacks from you too.
Yeah.
Please. I've got another one here, Mark.
Sure.
Here's new. Tammy, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Tammy.
Would love a card for a loved one or anything about a job or what's next. Any readings would be amazing.
Oh, Tammy Goodwin. Tammy Goodwin. Okay. I'm feeling that there's this sense around you at the moment, Tammy, where you are not actually trusting life and its processes. And of course, I mean, hello, when we get readings, usually we have that sense of uneasiness that drives us into seeing people like Chantal or myself or any readers that you go to, because that sense of uneasiness is the driving force because it's uncomfortable and because you don't want to feel it. And you come into a reading, and I guess what you want to know is all the good things. But sometimes I get stopped in my spirit, and I feel like I'm stopped in my spirit now with you because I believe that this sense of uneasiness and this sense of unrest isn't about the situation that you're thinking it's about. I think it's actually something that you've had with you for a while. And I think it's a familiar feeling. And I feel like it's like, and I get this sense over my heart chakra where there's a barrier. And I get this sense of that there's been an immense pain, and I feel there's been a deception around you, and I feel that there's been a relationship issue that's been that has seasoned your doubt in life and its processes. So let's see what the cards say. And please, if I'm off the track, please tell me, or whatever.
Yep.
So that's true.
Right.
Good.
Okay, let's see what cards we've got for you, Tamika.
Oh, okay. Well, new beginnings are coming your way, Tamika. I love that name, by the way.
So do I.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So you have the Ace of Discs. Okay. So the Ace of Discs is saying new beginnings. And this is talking about a new energy. Now, everything comes from spirit and everything goes to spirit. Everything comes from energy, and energy is spirit in motion. It is energy in motion is emotion as well. So energy that we get is the moving form of spirit. And this is telling me that basically your earth energy, now, this could be because, and what I'm getting is a celestial reference here from you. So we're talking about a Capricornian, Taurian, or a Virgo feeling of the constant. I'd say they could be tracking through your chart right now and affecting you in a very interesting way. So even though I described before what you're going through, I think you're going to traverse into quite an area of being grounded. And I am getting the feeling that money is coming. So that the money isn't what it's about. The money coming is a result of the shift of energy. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like it's, money is your goal. If you can actually be very centered and very grounded right now, and as much as you can be in the next short period of time, the result of that will be actually very good financially for you. So it's saying, the card is actually, I wish I could get, oh, yeah, I've got a ring light here, and it's actually,
Oh, we can see it,
there we go.
Mark. We can
Oh,
see
good.
it, darling. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Ace of Discs is saying that there is a seed of earth. There's a seed of earth energy that's going to plant your feet on the ground. And this is going to be incredibly good for you. It is going to balance you out. And it's, and that's all we need is a bit of balance at times.
Yeah, sometimes we get lost in this world, don't we?
I feel that where you're going, if you don't employ this, and Spirit always asks us to act. It doesn't just hand us everything on a silver platter. Sometimes things do come that way, and it's easy and it feels good. But the Seven of Swords is saying that you are going to have this burst of earth energy, and it's going to be a little bit hard for you to recognize to start with. Okay. But you're going to still want to experience it in your mind. So what the Seven of Swords is saying is that there is going to be an air influence around this earth energy. So when we look at air signs, we're looking maybe like a Libran sort of constellation or something going through. So I'm feeling it's really important for you to actually consult your natal chart and have a look at what is going on right now in the heavenlies above you, because it will make a lot of sense. And that will help you ground. Okay, so marvelous apps like, what is it? Cafeastrology.com. They'll give you a free reading. You just need to know your time and date and position of birth. Not whether you're breech or not, but where you were born, like where you were born. So, but I really feel that there is this sense around you that you are traversing and you are funneling. You've had this wide energy, but I feel like you're funneling and it's condensing, and you're going to be able to produce focus. And I think it's really important. I'm feeling very, very pressed to talk to you about intention.
Beautiful reading, darling. Thank you so much for that. If you have any feedbacks, please, we would love to hear them, because that's the only validation we have as readers.
Once I get the flow going, you have to interrupt me, because I will just...
Look what Nita has said to you, darling.
Can't
wait for the new changes, love and light to you both.
So well, you go with it, Nita.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. So thank you, Nita.
You go with it, darling.
Nita, I was calling you Anita.
Remember, your cousin is always with you.
Oh, we just did that one. Sorry.
Oh,
I had someone here. There we go.
Teresa Murphy Taroy. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Would love to have a message around future direction, please.
Okay, Teresa. I'm feeling this is about a job or something. Straight away I get the impression that there's been something to do with uncertainty in your employment or something. So you're it's not like it's like a devastating thing. I'm not getting like that, but what I'm getting is that there's an uneasiness around security of employment or security of where you're going. And again, as I said before, some of these things propel us in the direction of spirit. And so when you feel that, I'm going to say to you, Teresa, jump into spirit, jump into self, jump into love, jump into grounding, jump into fullness of emotion, because jumping into it the answer will be right there for you. But I'm going to pull some cards. Oh, dun, dun, dun. The lovers. Okay. Now, this can represent, the energy can represent in a relationship, but this card is different from the Rider-Waite. This card has the Hermit standing above the different stages of man, including primeval man. We have Adam and Eve represented in the top. We also have a lovely little demiurge named Cupid with his bow getting ready to pierce somebody. We have the union of male and female energy and the union of youth and energy. So the Lovers is a major arcana card, and it occurs after the Hermit. So it is something that the Hermit utilizes and produces. So what I'm telling you about this is that right now, before you chose this incarnation, Therese, you were one with the goddess, you were one with everything, and you were divine. And you chose this moment right now to activate this energy. Now, when you're one with the divine, everything's easy. But as soon as you become limited in this realm with skin on, can I swear? Am I allowed to say a swear word?
Hang on, what's the time? It's 8. Your kids are asleep. Go on.
Okay, yeah, okay. So when you get skin on and you're in this limited incarnation, it can be a little bit like an OFA experience. Okay, so we have this quandary of being eternal beings, and then we have this fallibility of skin that surrounds our organs and can get damaged. So you're living in this sort of place where you're balancing your energies right now. So the thing is to find balance, to find equilibrium. And we're going to look at how you're doing it. But this is the lesson that Spirit is, that you, when you were one with everything, chose this moment in time to present yourself with this lesson.
That's amazing reading. Hey, here we go.
You
got one more. Sorry, I was going to give you some
details. Yes. Okay, so we have.
Hey, they're beautiful cards, Mark.
Oh yeah, I love the top deck.
Yeah.
The Princess of Discs. So I'm going to tell you straight away. You were going to step into something with the earth energy where you may not. I feel like you might be feeling like it's a bit of a demotion in a way. You're going to be forced, or not forced, but you're going to take a job, or you're going to enter into another aspect of work where you're going to feel like you're not necessarily being utilized for what you really can do. But you know what? The wonderful thing is that once you're a princess, it doesn't matter how you dress, it's what you are. And you will make a way for that gift. So don't use the sign of stepping down. That's just ego. Ego wants you to be recognized for who you are. That, 100%. My dear, will happen because your divinity will actually forge a way for you. So don't feel like you're having a backward step. Just feel like you're having a break from those amazing things you can do, because don't worry, in time, you will be back doing it. So I hope that's a help to you, Therese. Thank you for joining
Teresa, tell me what your thoughts are in that, but I'm going to tell you something now, Mark. This is what she said. Hang on. Where is it? There. Confidence is lacking. However, yes, I've been starting to do readings for people.
Oh,
it's lacking. And then she says, yes, I am unbalanced.
Yeah, well, the lovers is a beautiful equilibrium.
100%. I would love to know if I might be going into labor before 40 weeks.
I don't feel like that's going to be the case. I feel that there's a lot of uncertainty about what you're going through and what you're feeling. And I feel that there's an aspect where you're feeling alone in this, where you're not really connecting with people. And I think that you are, from what I gather, I really feel there's a sense of not being very comfortable. Well, being a bloke without a uterus I can hardly comment on this, but I actually believe that it's not comfortable. As much as everybody's going to tell you that pregnancy is the most beautiful experience, not every woman I know has experienced pregnancy as that, and yet they've given birth to beautiful children. They've not regretted a second of having the children, but their experience of carrying the children was not good. So the thing is that this discomfort, this feeling, this is all your body adjusting and growing and moving, and it's different. I am getting a sense of, and please tell me if I overstep here, but I feel like there could have been a miscarriage or a failed, or something that's happened there. There's been a complication. It's not been a fun time. Yeah, I get this. It has been uncomfortable. It has probably not been, you've probably, obviously, and I'm guessing here because I'm not really getting this through spirit, but you've had sickness and all those terrible things that go with it.
All the fun.
And then your body goes to the pack because all of a sudden you're turning into a carrier for a baby and you lose identity. But you know what? Once that child has arrived in that child's chosen time, like you chose to come out, you are going to just fall in love. You're going to fall in love and you're going to love this experience. Maybe not having not carrying the baby or having the baby, but once the baby is out, you're going to understand why you went through it all. Let me draw you a card anyway, because what is going to emerge for you, there are unanswered questions. And when we get the Six of Swords out of the chaos of the background, through a sincere connection with the divine, through pain, the answer will emerge and make sense to you. So I guess one of the biggest messages that's coming through spirit right now is be patient and all will be shown to you during this. So I would like to urge you to maybe get involved in a group with other expectant mothers and share your feelings. Talk about it. You'll probably find you're not alone in this terrible time. I do
35 weeks roughly.
Yeah.
30 weeks.
I sort of feel that there has been a little bit of a problem, not a problem, but there's something placental. I feel like there might have been something with the placenta where the placenta hadn't been. I'm getting a vision of it, but I feel like I don't know how it works. I'm sorry, I'm a bit ignorant with it.
You're trying, you're doing good.
When the baby forms in the womb, the placenta sometimes it's not completely attached, and it's taken, and there's something there. I don't know. I get this sense about this for you, but I feel like it's all going to pan out. And I wish I could say the birth will be painless and wonderful.
It'll walk out. Don't worry.
The thing is to educate and to get around the people. Go back into, if you're going into the public system, go in there and ask questions and make them talk to you about it, because they will understand that. But when you don't say anything, no one knows. You have a voice, darling. Use it.
And you should listen to your mother too, okay? Your mother knows what she says. I'm your mother.
Okay, so this is what I'm getting straight away.
You got everything.
Feeling unwell, but they didn't have answers. Yeah, because the thing is, unwell, unfortunately. How many weeks did she say? 35 weeks now.
I thought she was 36, but she's 35.
Yeah.
This is Ashley, my youngest daughter. Naughty girl. No, she's not naughty.
So you can
she just wanted
tell me you take a Panadol and relax. I probably wouldn't. I would do the relaxing part, but only take the Panadol if you really feel like you need it. And really, I think that having that Panadol sometimes too, it thins the blood. So I don't know.
Aspirin does thin the blood, but I think sometimes just go and have a nice warm shower.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Have a nice chamomile tea, put your feet up.
But I feel like you're going to go to term, darling. I wish I could say that you could go early.
Yeah, it's going to cook properly. You'll be fine.
That's it. You don't want
Like,
to.
and that comes to the end of our journey, sweetheart. Thank you so
really?
much.
God, I was just
I
getting into
know.
it.
I think we need to talk about the 24th, don't we?
Okay, so this is my workshop. Or
That's
Spirit
the
Fest.
15th.
Oh.
Our workshop. We've got a Chameleon
Spirit
Festival.
Fest. Yay.
Yay! I can't wait. When is that again? I know she's going to kill us.
Do you want me to have a quick look?
Monique, I know you're going to kill us if you're watching this, but we do have a lot going on, don't we?
Spirit Fest is on the 24th, and it starts at June 24th, 9:15, free entry. There's going to be free yoga. Now, this beautiful woman on this side of me here is going to be having a free time for where you come in, and she'll be doing
live mediumship reading.
Yeah, and you'll be amazed. I mean, she's been blowing my trumpet. I'd like to blow hers a little bit now and talk about how gifted this woman is. And I'm sure you all know, but she is a very, very gifted psychic medium, very, very close contact with spirit, and very sensitive to it. So you're going to get a wonderful demonstration with that.
100%. So if you come on the 24th of this month, which is in 2 more weeks, the address is down the bottom between 9 in the morning. Even if you get a coffee, there's coffee shops around there. And
we're going to have somebody there that will serve coffee.
Fantastic.
Even though we don't have a cafe anymore, there is going to be someone there to serve. But I can't find the timetable of when you're talking, darling. And I'm also giving I'm going to do live readings as well. So it's going to be, I'll just pick someone from the audience, get them to choose cards, and I'll read for them.
It's going to be fantastic. And it's going to be, is it 1317 or 3171?
3171.
There we go. It's there.
3171 Boulevard.
Surfers Paradise at the Gold Coast. You are welcome to book us beforehand. Just go on the website, which is your turn.
Chameleon New Age Salon.com. Now, what I'd also like to say is that, we've all got stalls there, so we'll all be reading there as well. But there's going to be all sorts of wonderful things to see. Now, can I just do one more plug quickly? I've got that's my beginner's workshop. So that is designed to help you read without the book. But I have
down the bottom. That's his workshop, which is coming in July.
After that, I think it's in August, but the date's still floating around. I have got a full day workshop planned where we talk about making vision boards and manifestation. So we're going to use the cards to help us understand the blockages to manifesting what we really want in life.
Funny you say that. You just reminded me.
4 levels of creation. So we'll work out where the cards fit in there, and we'll be, instead of choosing cards, we will be picking cards and making a vision board. And you'll have to join in because there'll be some meditation, there'll be visualization, there'll be theory. So it'll be a fun, exciting day.
I see fun all over, learning with fun, which is fantastic.
Yay. Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Say bye to Mark for us.
I'm going to bed now.
Bye, guys. You take care. Thank you so much. Everybody's loving you. Everybody's saying how great this shop was. All right. Love you, Mark. Go to bed.
I love you too, Chantal.
Love you
I'll
too.
see you.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining us, darlings. Next week, I will have another special guest, which I am not going to tell you because it's going to be a surprise. So look at my face. Oh, I am so going to bed after here. So next week, I will be having, like I said, a surprise. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but in every reading, I will guarantee you'll be receiving I don't even know what I'm saying, but at every show that I do, you will be receiving a free reading. Okay, but it's up to the psychic, the medium, the healers, the tarot readers, whoever, what kind of reading you'll be getting. Either way, it's going to be excited. All right, beautiful people, I will see you next Thursday, same time, same place. Love and light out your way. Thank you. And don't forget to like and share. Bye.